This is the podcast with the flow, WTF. So we just gonna go with the flow and just talk a little bit about just life, you know what I'm saying? Where you at, who you are, you know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to do a little bit of research on you, you know. So I saw you are very active. You are doing a lot of good stuff. Also, I met you at poetry, and so you just did a dope poem. We just recorded it, and then so the people can get the chance to see exactly how dope you are. So without further introduction, we have Keke in the building with the flow.
Okay, I'm Keke.
Got Keke. So one of the first questions I want to just dive into. I know that we in the summer months, and so I know that it was such a mixed thing about like what people was doing in the summer. It was hot girl summer, it was hill girl summer, it was all this different stuff. And so, how was your summer? What were some things that you got into?
This summer, I want to say this summer was more of like it was a balanced summer. Like usually I have my healer summers, I have my turn up summers, but this summer it was doing a little bit of both. Like I want to say this was growth. I finally flew on a plane. I got on a plane for the first time. Okay. Like it was new experiences. I went to Jamaica, start journaling more, meditating every day. So it's a nice little balance in between.
How was the what inspired the Jamaica trip?
I wasn't even supposed to go on a Jamaica trip. Like my mama had bought 2 tickets for her friend, and her friend had canceled. She was like, just go ahead and get your passport. Got my passport, got it expedited. Luckily it came back in time. And I just went with the flow, and it was smooth. Yeah, it was a blessing.
Go with the flow moment right there. Show you.
I was not prepared for that. I was just like, I'm gonna just be working this whole summer. That's it.
What was something that I know traveling sometimes can like open your mind? What was something that traveling in Jamaica?
Ooh, so we actually did a tour on a tour guide, and they showed us like the less fortunate side, and they showed us like these big houses. Like it was just a lie, and it was like, I don't know, people were on the tour like, oh my gosh, I couldn't live here, I couldn't do this. I'm like, well, this is their everyday life. They'll come to the United States think the same thing. So it gave me a bigger picture of life, how things are just segregated. People live in two different spaces like that, and everybody thinks it's normal the way they live.
Dang, that's a dope
nobody
really
think of everybody else's how everybody else live for real.
Yeah, like however you live is it's your everyday.
You used to it. You're not used to nothing else. So I'm glad I got to experience traveling. A lot of people my age have not traveled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was that your first time off the country?
That was my first time. I've never been anywhere.
Outside of.
I've been outside of Charlotte. Like I used to dance, so we used to travel a lot, but we couldn't go anywhere other than just the place that we came there for. So I technically never traveled for real.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, we just opened up another case. You used to dance. Okay,
I danced for 12 years.
Okay. What was your dance style?
I did ballet, tap. Tap was my favorite.
And then tap dance?
Yes, I love tap dancing.
What?
I still be doing it a little now and then.
Okay. We gotta see that in action.
Oh no, that's still taking some work. Yeah. I ain't did it in so long.
I feel like that's a good art form though. That like
you don't see nobody.
People do it.
Yeah, you don't see nobody tapping no more. I like the noise. You make your own music with your feet. It's cool.
Oh wow! So you always been like an active person.
Oh yeah.
What inspired you to start into dancing?
My mama really forced me, cause she was like, I want to play basketball. I couldn't run. Like I looked so crazy running. She was like, oh no, we finna put you in a dance. So let's just find your thing. Hip hop wasn't it. Jazz really wasn't it. So I found out like ballet and tap. Stuck to it 12 years, and I did it competitively. So we was traveling, we was making money off of it, and it was smooth.
That's pretty dope though. So you did you do dance first, or did you do poetry?
I did. I was doing them at the same. I don't want to say I was writing poetry. I was writing like lyrics, so you could say it was poetry.
Did you think you could be a rapper?
I couldn't sing. I thought I was gonna be a singer, and I couldn't sing. So I'm just like, maybe I could be a ghostwriter or something. And then just turned into poetry as the years went on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep it at that.
And did you used to do like talent shows and stuff?
No.
Or was you just doing a competition?
I didn't do no. I was very shy. I was very shy. I didn't do anything unless it was just dancing out of the States.
Okay.
Cause I'm like, they're not gonna see me again.
What got you like to go share a little bit?
I don't know. I really don't want to say I'm out of my shell for real, because it still be times like it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in for real. But lately I've been really extroverted, so I'm messing with it. This may be a thing.
Yeah. Do you feel like you going back into your school semester different after this summer? Like you done been in Jamaica, you know.
I got a new outlook on life. Like you grow every single year, and I feel like this year it's just gonna be on some new things. I'm definitely doing poetry more. I only did one performance in school, and I did like 2 open mics. I'm definitely trying to perform more, hoping this stage fright get a.
Man, that's wild. Just because it's wild just hearing this, because I met you through seeing you perform, and I would have never even thought that.
Oh, I was so sweaty. If you would have saw my hands, you would have been like, oh, you was nervous. I was up there losing it.
So I wanna definitely tap into just what words of encouragement would you give somebody that is like that does have that stage fright, but have that. Like I meet so many poets who do write and want to perform, but they got that stage fright type of thing.
And that's hard to like give advice on, because everybody will tell me like, just imagine nobody's there. I'm like, I can't imagine nobody. I can't even imagine an apple in my head. So I can't picture nobody there. I just gotta look, and then I just gotta go with the flow. So I just gotta be real confident in my work. If like that poem that I just did, I knew it, so I was real confident in it. So it's just to take a matter of practice, knowing your poem, being confident in what you're doing. That's how you go up there. And stage fright don't mean nothing for real.
Can you talk about a little bit about that poem you just spit?
Ooh, that poem
about,
I just
the title
spit.
And like and I know we talked a little bit off camera about where it came from. You want to talk a little bit about that? Okay,
so the poem was titled "Not My Beef," and I originally wrote it because I was going to a few parties back in school, and I was messing with the parties, but every party I went to, it was either getting shot up, fights in there. Like I got in a fight at school, like, but I was doing my homework. Like it was just random stuff like that would cause my anxiety to go up. And the last party I went to, it got shot up, and one of my closest friends, her homegirl died. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going outside no more. I'm about to write. I was like, I'm about to write this poem, because I'm like, now it got me. That's something I can write about, something everybody else can feel. Everybody at the school felt it. Everybody at A&T felt it. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna write about it, and I hope everybody feel it.
Was that the poem that you performed? That you said you performed in school?
Yeah, that's the poem I performed.
That was the opening.
Yes. They loved it. Like the school loved it. Everybody come out for the poetry showcases.
Because I know how like vulnerable that could have been for you. Talk about that situation.
Yeah.
And I liked how you talked about it seemed like the Ku Klux Klan hoods changed the ski mask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like putting a little bit of accountability to the black people hands. So I would inspire some of those lines and
see.
Like where did you draw that artistic style from?
That stuff I think about, that most people think about and just be scared to say. Like we gotta put some of our people on it too. Like we really the cause of a lot of the stuff that's going on. So we gotta hold us accountable for it. And I think that's holding us accountable. I'm scared to come outside because of my people.
Yeah.
That's something I shouldn't be really scared. I should be able to feel safe. It's just a lot of things that got to change within our community, and I feel like that's one of them, holding us accountable for things that we do.
Man, that's a dope outlook, though, to have that. Like, that's a dope outlook. So I just, I seen the movie, They Clone Tyrone.
Oh, my sister was just talking about it. No, I ain't see it.
Oh, man, you got to see it.
Everybody telling me to see it.
Yeah,
they know I love
really,
stuff like that.
I ain't going to spoil it for you, but it's a little bit about holding people accountable, in my opinion. My take on it.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, I'm going to watch it tonight.
You got to check it out.
Because you're the third person now. I feel like that's a sign.
Yeah, oh, man, I think you're going to really vibe with it. I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times. There's so many like hidden messages in there, but it talks a little bit about like holding the people, because it's certain people in our communities that make our communities the way they are. And so just what you're saying about holding them accountable is like, you know, dang, I really shouldn't be afraid to go outside in my own, like y'all supposed to be each other.
Exactly.
You know and so So how do you feel about the black consciousness right now? Like what is your take on what it mean to be conscious or woke or?
Okay, me and my dad was just having this discussion. My dad is a Hebrew Israelite, he a follower. So we was actually discussing that with my mom as well. My mom is a 5%er. So that whole conversation together was just going every which way. Everybody got their own viewpoints on it, and I just say living in the moment. That's all I said was living in the moment, and they took it deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm like, that's really all it is just living, being here. And that's how I took it.
So you talking about like being conscious of being living here?
Like being in the moment. Everybody is stuck on the future and the past. No one is actually here. No one is seeing what's going on around us. Nobody's knowing what other people got going in their life. Everybody's just focused on them. You got to focus on what's around you in that very moment.
Man,
and that's being conscious.
So do you like meditate?
I just got back into it. I used to meditate every single day, like during COVID. And then I realized once I stopped, everything was just like, I wasn't really here. So as soon as I started meditating, my mind became clear. So I'm trying to get back into it, hoping I can get some messages from like my inner self while meditating.
For the people who don't know about meditation, like how would you describe your meditation, techniques or journey?
So I just want to start off, my meditation is different than everybody else's. Like I meditate, my goal is to strictly get in touch with my higher self. Like I want to become my higher self. I want to be more like God. That's strictly where I want to go to. A lot of people do it to get closer to God, get that connection, get their prayers dealt with more faster. So I do frequency meditation. If you know what that is, listen to Hertz. Oh yeah, you gotta look up some frequencies on YouTube.
Okay.
A lot of people go to sleep with it, but I meditate.
Is that
with
like
it.
this noise?
It's a different. See, I can't even explain it without using the word frequency.
Okay.
It's just, it's a different noise.
Okay.
And it heals a different part of your body. It taps into a different part of your brain. And it brings it to a much deeper level. Like, I used to be scared. I meditate. As soon as everything go white, I stop. And then I kept going one time, and it just felt like I was floating outside of my body. It was a different experience. I just tell everybody, just focus on what's going on around you. Feel your hands, feel your feet, feel your breath coming out your nose, and you'll be on a different state. You'll tap into a different level meditating like that.
How early on did you start meditating?
Ooh, I want to say when I turned 17.
And what put you onto it? Like,
what put me on, I think it was this, I had figured out my mom never really talked about what she was doing. I know she was on some like real heavy, deep spiritual stuff in college, and I was like, tell me more about that, because this when I started like to question everything. I was questioning every single thing. I'm like, I don't believe you, or why you believe in that, or why this, like why that. So I asked her about it, and she was like, I used to meditate. Like she was telling me all the stuff she did. She's like, I done did acid, shrooms. I'm like, what? Why are you telling me that? So she started telling me about the meditation part. She said she stopped like practicing her whole spiritual journey because she had an experience meditating on some shrooms one time. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, but how did you meditate? Like she told me how she meditated, and I did it. I'm hard-headed, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna meditate how you did it. Minus the shrooms. Minus the shrooms. I'm 17 years old, and I did it, and I felt clear with my thinking. Like I knew exactly what I wanted. I got clarity, and I knew I was asking God. Like I knew exactly where it was coming from. I knew it wasn't just placebo or nothing. I knew what was working for me, and that was working for me.
Okay.
So I kept on.
And so from 17 to now, meditation has been a part of your life.
Yeah, it has.
Okay. And then I want to touch on two things. So one thing for sure, you brought up your parents a lot, like twice. And so how involved are they in your life? And how what did you feel like you get from both of them?
So me and my parents' connection wasn't always like, tight, and it's still a little loose, but I started to realize that I do have a piece of them within me, and I'm starting to find the good sides of them out, so I'm appreciating them a little bit more. So I mention them a lot in everything I do, because they do play a big part in how I act, how I do things, how I speak, how I talk. So they played a big part. I know what to do now.
What's some of those good things you feel like you got from like your father?
He is blunt. Like everything he say, like that's why when I say I'm shy, that's my mom's side. But my dad's side, he knows exactly what he wants. He know exactly how to say it. He know how to make you listen. He know how to make you feel what I'm saying. So those are the positive things that I got from my dad. He's very assertive, and as soon as he steps into the room and say something, everybody shut up and listen.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's smooth.
And then what about your mom?
My mom is very like nurturing. She gives that soft side that makes someone feel safe while they there. So I like that about her too. I love that about her, and I feel like I'm glad that it's been instilled in me.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So it seemed like you had like a good representation of like a masculine.
Yeah, masculine and feminine.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. How important is that? Like
that is very important to me. Well, to me alone, I mention it a lot, especially like in my club. I mentioned it to men as well. I had this one event called Big Boys Cry Too. It's a men's mental health event. Okay. And I had mentioned like the yin and yang. Everybody think it just means good and bad. I'm like, no, that's that's feminine, masculine energy that's tied together, balance. That's what we talking about. Yeah. So that plays a big part in how I act. I got two sides. I got my masculine side as well. I got my feminine side. It's just both things, mentally and physically.
That's funny you say that. Like the beginning of this year, like February, I had I was going through my own journey, and like we all going through our own journey. And so I forgot where I saw it, but yin yang just popped up. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I like created a whole theory on it, and so it was just like it was speaking to a lot about like masculine and feminine. Oh, it came about. So it's a good book. It's called The Way to a Superior Man. And so, if any guys out there watching it, even females for real, but read that book. That book like revolutionized my way of thinking, especially like in relationships or just talking about masculine and feminine energy. But it talked a lot about being what you need from the other person, but also how masculine and feminine energy feed each other. And so the way I imagine a yin yang sign now is, so you say you got the white represent male energy, and you got masculine. And then you got the black representing feminine energy. You could change the colors however you want it to be. But I imagine the little dots as being the opposite energy. And so you got like the male who has like, but it's like it can be broken down to different levels. So you have an individual person where you got your own yin yang, right? So you got your own masculine and feminine energy. And so if you're on the white side, with majority white side, you got that little black circle. That's your feminine energy coming in as like a funnel, you know what I'm saying? And then you able to transform that into masculine energy. It gives you. Okay,
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, it gives you a boot. It's like food, you know what I'm saying, for your masculine energy. And then the same on the opposite with your feminine energy, you got like a little funnel that's coming through with the masculine energy, and it gives you the energy for the feminine. So it's like you need to figure out which one you need most. And so when you're talking to people, sometimes if people going through like a rough time or something like that, or they in their feminine energy, they may need that masculine energy. A little bit of direction, a little bit of like, a little bit of action, you know what I'm saying? So that way they may need that to get back into their mode. Or if they acting in their masculine, you know what I'm saying, and they need some support, they need some like a booster, because when you going all day, you need some good food or something in your stomach. So it's like, so that'll give you the energy to do what you. So the way I see masculine and feminine energy is like the support. So I'm in the military too, so I think about it like logistics. So
I'm about to go to the military next
year. You about to go to the
military? Yeah.
Okay, we can talk about that a little bit. But the way I see it is, so in the military, you have support operations, and you got action operations. So you got logistics and you got operations. And so everybody always think about the people that shoot or the people that do stuff, but they can't get there without the gas. They can't get there with the bullets, without feeding, without all those stuff that happen in support. And then the support can't do anything. They can't complete the mission without the people who actually carry it out. And so that's the way I see masculine and feminine energy, is that you need that support just as much as you need that. So I was just saying, you got your individual yin yang where you got to recognize, do I need support right now, or do I need direction? You know what I'm saying? And so
That's a nice. Hold on. Do I need support or direction?
Support or direction. You know, like, am I down or do I got enough energy to keep going? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, once you recognize that in yourself, when you talking to people, so then you got to find yourself, right? You got to figure out what are things that give me energy. Okay, I like to write poetry. I like to go see the sunset. I like to, you know, go to the movies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those are me acting in my feminine. That's giving me the energy to be able to, okay, I need to do this to get this event space. I need to do this to, you know, this is where I want to be and stuff like that. So I need this energy to carry out my mission. Yep. And so once you find that within yourself, you can then, when you're talking to other people, and most people relate this to just relationship, but you can do it with anybody. I find it's like, even friends, associates, a stranger on the street, you can recognize what energy are they operating out of. Because then you can figure out what energy you need to operate out of so it can be a mutual exchange. You know what I'm saying? Because you always can use feminine or masculine energy. Because you always got to reserve, right? It's not like, if you're running on E, then yeah, you probably need, okay, I need the masculine or the feminine right now, I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? But if you sustain yourself, you can give whatever they need and you can receive whatever they're giving, even if they don't know what they're giving, you know? And so, but when you do that in a relationship too, is like the energy that you get from, like, say your partner, say they're giving you masculine energy, say your man come home or something like that and he do something, like he cut the grass or he fixed your car or something like that, that's gonna spark your feminine energy to want to do something to support, you know what I'm saying? Or want to act in your feminine. And it's the same thing in reverse. I'm
glad you said that too. I've noticed that, like in the previous relationships or dealings that I've been in, I've noticed that when the dude comes to me like all down, I don't want to say like depressed or anything, but all down, and I would instantly tap into that energy, and I was like, that is great that I know how to do that. I never noticed that it was like that's what I was doing, but it just happened smoothly. It was great. Yeah. I'm like, I never thought of it like that into a yin yang type of energy. I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's so powerful because in the book you just talk about you have to. So it's so crazy where we at right now, where people just be like, you know, well, I ain't doing it unless she doing it, or I ain't doing it unless he's doing it. It's like what the book teaches you is that you have to do it. You know, whatever you want from that person, you do it, and they gonna. So especially as a man, like if you a leader, if you do it first, they gonna follow. You know
especially
what I'm saying?
With this whole submissive. And, Lord, I'm like, he ain't submitting to no what?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
And that's a whole journey too. I was just watching something, but it really speaks to religion though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so men that's not submissive to, and this is anybody, like you gotta be submissive to God. I've heard you brought up God a lot, and so if you have that higher being, you know what I'm saying, whatever that higher being is for you, you gotta look at how you submissive to that entity, and then because however you are submissive to that entity will be an example of how somebody is supposed to be submissive to you. So if you're not really being submissive to that, then how could you, like, what are you setting an example of?
Exactly.
You know? So, but I definitely want to talk about. I'm sorry, you put me on a tangent. Like, I'm telling you, I can talk about that for like.
I love talking about it or learning about it.
Because the yin yang, man, is just like it's such a powerful tool of like just knowing energy, you know, and just knowing that you are in control of your own.
I never really focused on it. I gotta focus on that, like what type of energy somebody is carrying on them. I never paid attention to that, knowing I talk about it so much. I got it tatted on my back. I never.
Oh, what it say?
It's a yin yang with koi fish.
What? That's wild.
I had it on my back, and I never decided to like really go into it for real.
Man, you would love that book. It's a long book.
You gotta show that to me too.
Yeah,
a long
book.
You
that book. I'm telling you,
I be skimming.
Book.
I be skimming through pages. I don't be reading. I might read it though.
Books?
No, I got a few. I got a bunch of books at the house, but I skim through it. I see what like look at the title, see if the title is hitting, and I sit there and read that. But to read a whole book, oh Lord.
Man, I know I'm flexing like I read books. I just started reading books like 3 years ago, for real. when I was on deployment.
Mm-hmm.
But before then, nah, bro.
I can't comprehend. Like I read a page about 5 times before I understand what's going on.
Yeah,
And I can't stand that.
And some books they do repeat like the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like once I think I was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. Once I got to like about 75% of the book, it just kept saying the same thing over and over.
I would have put the book down.
Yeah, but the way to Superior Man, it literally it's a different lesson every chapter. And I would say like just doing audiobooks helped me out a lot. So I went away from the paper book. So this year I had dedicated to reading one book a month. But what I found is that so with audiobooks, you can just put like, so instead of music, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so instead of me listening to music on my commute or something, like to get here is 25 minutes. So instead of me listening to music for 25 minutes, I can listen to an audiobook for 25 minutes. And that way you can start to knock it out, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you're not losing time and whatever. And so I would say get out and try.
I might have to.
Yeah, it's
I may listen too.
And so you said a little bit about you was thinking about joining the military.
Yes, I was trying to join this summer. I was gonna go this summer, take off a semester, join the Air Force Reserve. Okay. I already like talked to my recruiter, everything like that. But me getting ready to go to the MEPS, they done found something in my I had ADHD. Okay. I stopped taking it, my medicine for in 2017. It was like you got to do a whole psych evaluation to make sure you aren't addicted to it. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of stuff, so I got to get that situated for next summer, and I'm gonna be straight.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I mean, yeah. So you set on the Air Force.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I just see the Army camouflage.
Y'all not finna put me in the field. Put me on the chair. I'll be sitting down just making money. I don't care.
Yeah, you could be sitting down making money too in the Army too.
No, I won't. I heard PT a fool.
Yeah, the Air Force is. Well, I was like, dang.
The Air Force smooth. My friend in the Air Force, he in Alaska. I think he in Alaska. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that he said he having fun. He ain't doing nothing. He in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm like, you in the kitchen? You supposed to be protecting.
What you want to do in the Air Force?
I was gonna go in there and do what is it? Dental assistant. Yeah, cause that's what I'm trying to do for school.
Is that what you? So you going to school for biology, right?
Yeah, just to go to dental school.
And so what? Okay, so you just picked it up just to go to dental school. How do you like? So you feel like you a sciencey person?
Yeah, I love science. I love science and math. I don't like to read. I don't like to read, and I don't like too much about history unless it's something that more than likely is going to repeat itself, which they say all history does. But
okay. And what got you to like science? Was it like do you have like siblings?
I got Lord, let me count. It's not even a lot. I got 4 siblings. I got an older brother and I got 3 younger sisters.
Okay.
And one of my sisters loves to read. That's all she do is read. She can't stand math, can't stand science. And my other sisters love science. And my brother loves to read.
Okay. And so do you feel like you operate out of like a logical mindset most
Yes.
of the time?
I like to be able to solve things. Like, reading, we had to take them little tests. You read a book and you... Yeah. I know exactly what's going on in the book, but I just can't answer the question. Yeah. I have to be able to solve it out because I feel like it works for me.
Yeah.
It works.
Especially reading is like subjective.
I can't. I be telling everybody I can't read. I can read. I just can't read.
Yeah. Check out them audiobooks. That might do it for real. What so are you going into like your junior year this year?
Yes, this is my junior year.
Okay. How you feeling like what was the difference like going into freshman year compared to now?
Freshman year, I don't know. I want to say I was more aware of myself freshman year just because that was during the pandemic and I graduated high school in 2020. I was supposed to graduate in 2021. So I had a whole year and some change to like really focus on myself, be by myself alone, just to come in school with a fresh slate. Like I don't have to worry about no boys. I don't have to worry about no money because I was working the whole time. And then going into my sophomore year, so okay, now I got to scrape up some change to go to school because I'm doing this basically by myself. Then my junior year, everything is just strictly on me. Like we got bills to pay now. Like, it just went straight to adulthood. And I'm like, this is not, I thought I was prepared. I was not prepared.
Yeah. But you're doing a lot better than a lot of people, though, as far as, like, your business, getting your business going already.
I want to, like, look at the positive things. Like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I look at everybody else, and I'm like, how you get this apartment by yourself?
Yeah,
I can't keep comparing myself to nobody else.
You ever heard it said comparison is the killer of joy?
It is. It is. That's how I'm looking at what I'm doing. I'm doing great for my age. Yeah. I'm doing great.
Not even for your age, for your journey.
Yeah,
you know?
For my journey.
A lot of times we try to, like, put timelines on stuff, and it's like, you know, what I found in life is you just stick to something. You know, a master of something is way better than a jack of all trades. So I know it's an old saying, but that's an incomplete
Lauryn Hill said that.
So you gotta, so you honing in on something at a young age, and I feel like, so I remember this one nail tech. I know you don't do nails, but I remember it was a nail tech when I was in college, and she was on the struggle bus too. Not saying you struggle bus.
I don't want to struggle bus.
And so, but now, like, cause she been doing it for like 12 years now. And so now she's one of the biggest nail tech, or she was a makeup artist. She's one of the biggest makeup artists in Cleveland. And, and it was just dope to see her progression.
She kept going.
Yeah, you just gotta keep going, man. You never know where it's gonna turn out, where you're gonna go.
And I wanted to stop so many times. I'm like, with lashes, I wasn't getting no clients freshman year. I think that for the whole year I only had 2 clients. Sophomore year, first semester was a little slow. And I had posted one little TikTok. TikTok make everything popping. I posted TikTok. My whole bookings was full for 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Oh, are you crazy?
Oh, wow.
And it's like that now. Like, I'm already booked up for the new school year. I'm like, this what's up.
Yeah. Oh, that is dope. So how did you get your business savvy, though? How did you get your, like, education in business? Was it just trial and error?
I don't even know. I started my business in 2019. I was in 10th grade. And I started selling skincare products, lip gloss. I was just doing I was seeing what was comfortable for me, what I like to do, and it worked immediately. Like, I was selling out at school, and then I'm like, I want to add a service onto it too. I'm about to go to school. I know I'm gonna need some income because I'm not trying to go to work. And then that started jumping. Like, it took a while for me to get good at lashes. Like, from 2019 all the way up until 2022.
Yeah.
That was terrible. 2022, 2023, I started getting really good.
Yeah.
So it took some time.
Yeah, okay. And just remember, you always gonna be better than the first repeat.
Yeah.
So now every year you continue to do it, it's like a race where people get tired, and then people gonna be dropping off, but you still running. So just remember that you always gonna be better. And then so I know you want to be a dental assistant. I know you got your lab business going on right now. Thinking about the
I am a dental assistant already. I'm already certified.
Oh, you already certified?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you wanna actually become a dentist?
Yeah, I'm gonna become a dentist.
Okay. And do you wanna, like, open up your own practice and everything?
That's the goal. I got 2 other friends that want to become dentists as well. So we trying to just all do it together.
Okay.
Cause I'm not trying to put all my money.
Yeah. Do you guys go to the same school and everything?
No, they go to Central. I go to Winston, but I'm trying to go to dental school at ECU.
Okay. And so that actually get into a little bit about what do you feel like your purpose in life is? Like, what do you feel like you wanna?
I was just asked that question. I don't know. Like, I'm still on the I'm gonna let things be, and I feel like that's gonna come within time, age, or journey. I don't know.
Okay. And then how do you like decide where you go next in your journey? So I know you talk a lot about, like, going with the flow, being in the moment. How do you know when something is right?
It's not even I go with the flow. I really trust my instincts a lot, and I ask God. Like, that's where meditation comes in. If I don't know, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna ask for clarity. Like, I always ask for clarity. I do a lot of manifesting. I do a lot of I'm not gonna say spell work, but I do a lot of stuff to journal to help me get into it. So that's what helped me figure out what I need to do next.
Okay. And then has your relationship with God always been like this strong? Or?
No.
Okay.
I fell off.
What?
It was at one point where the part where I said I was questioning everything. Like, I was digging a little too deep. Like, I was like, well, what? Like, I just kept asking like, what if, like, why is this that way? Why is that way? And I just had to realize I didn't have a relationship with God. I knew who God was. I knew God was real. But me, I used to think of God as a man all the time. I used to, God is a man. Like, this just don't sound right. This sounds like a book. This sounds like a fairy tale. I just read something like this. I was like, it don't seem real. So I had to dig deeper. I had to ask those questions, and I finally found out how I can connect with God, and the things that just worked for me. It started coming to me faster, and it started coming to me faster, and I knew I was talking to the right person.
Okay. And how do you like how do you surround yourself with that at school? Like, how do you protect that energy?
I be around people with the same minds, or not higher, or not gonna say higher, but people that are on a different level than me. I like to surround myself by all. I don't stay with one particular group or particular clique. Like I said, I have my club at school, and we talk about everything. I got a few of them that are in E5. E5 is like, you know what type of religion group that is, belief group that is. We got people in E5, they do basically voodoo. I got people that are Buddhists in the group, and this all the religions, they have something meaningful to say. And it gets into my head and it connects me back to exactly where I know I need to be, and they help me figure out what to do next too.
Yeah, that's dope. I just recently became practicing Islam, and so it's like it's dope to hear open-minded religion talk. And so a lot of people, they be like,
I love to hear about it. That's what really got me into it. I went to the library, read this book called World Religions. The book was so long. I'm thinking, like, it was at one point I thought the only religion was Christianity. I opened that book, I said, what is this? Like, I'm just looking like, what? I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I started tapping into it.
That is I love your mindset on far as like, just like, I seen like on your profile it said free spirit.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just really, it really gives a lot of hope to the future that people are asking questions and not coming with like a closed mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important, I feel like, to just, like, I love how you talk about you just on this journey. You don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I don't know what's going on.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just learning. I'm taking on the journey. You ask me, you know what I'm saying, what's my purpose? Like, I don't know. You know, because a lot of people, they trying to, I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that. And it's like, when you allow yourself to be open and free. It was another good book that I read called Untethered Soul. And so, yeah, Untethered Soul is a really good book.
The title is just...
But they talk a lot about, like, not being tied to too much, you know what I'm saying? Because really everything in your life is temporary. And so it's just, yeah. So it's, because what I'm finding in life is, even as a photographer, so it's like challenging me as a photographer, because one of my main things in photography is, time is temporary, memories are forever, right? And so it's like, you know, it's so important to capture this memory. But what I'm finding is that, so it was another book I read when I first started out of college, when I wasn't reading books for real. This was like the first one of the real books I read. It was called The Things They Carry. And it was about a story. You heard that book? Man, that book had me. That book had me. So yeah, it was just about the Vietnam soldiers, and they could only carry so much stuff.
It's a movie.
You know, it's a movie?
Yeah, that's why I know exactly.
I didn't know it was a movie. Oh, I gotta watch it. I never knew it was a movie. That's crazy.
It's on Tubi.
Oh, for real? It's on Tubi. It's on Tubi.
I done interrupted. Oh my gosh.
Is it on Tubi? Is it good? Is it look good?
My dad told me to watch it when he found out I wanted to join the military.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
I'm watching.
Okay, and you got a homework assignment to watch it. They close out on around too. You read it in school too?
Yes.
Oh man, it's so wild. Life come full circle sometimes. That is wild. But in the book, they just talked about not being able to carry a lot of stuff. So they had to choose wisely what they carried. Even some of the stuff they carried, like one guy, he was talking about carrying his girl's pantyhose. Or one guy was talking about carrying letters from his mom and stuff like that. And it's like, that just is symbolic for, I feel like, life. You know what I'm saying? So when we go through life, we can't carry everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about trauma, past memories and relationships, all this stuff. And you got to think about, what are you carrying? Is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we might carry stuff that's traumatic. And because you're carrying that, say that weight 10 pounds, you can't carry the happiness. You know what I'm saying? That's 10 pounds of equal weight. Because you can only carry so much. You know what I'm saying? We talking about that yin yang symbol. It's just a circle. You know what I'm saying? You only got so much capacity to carry that load. So so that book, Untethered Soul, it just talked a lot about like just allowing life moments to just pass through you. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy all the moments, because it's kind of like street lights when you driving. If you was to get so caught up on this one street light, you will never see the whole road. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be just, oh my God, I gotta look at this light because it's so bright, beautiful, whatever. And it's like you don't even get a chance to, enjoy the rest of the road. And so,
that's a nice perspective. I ain't think of it like that either.
I know. I gotta watch that movie. You just put me off.
Now it just makes sense. We had read the book in class, and I don't like reading, but luckily the teacher read it, so I had no choice but listen. I'm like, the things I carried, I started like to add two and two together too, and I just saw it on TV. I'm like, what?
Man, that's wild. And it's crazy because I didn't. And it just show you, though, a lot of times in like seed sows and that goes into what I've been learning this year too, is that a lot of times we want things to happen overnight, or we think that, I can just change tomorrow, or all this stuff. And it's like, I'm learning that it's seeds. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're gonna get a seed planted into you. It could be something off we talked today. It could be about a poem that you wrote. It could be about experience or whatever. And throughout life and your journey, if it's meant to be on your journey, it's gonna get watered and it's gonna become a tree. And so it's like that book. I read that book 16 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I read it 16 years ago, and I'm just now really. It's still like playing a part of my life, but it's still like growing. And it's like throughout my life, it's been watered by the untethered soul. The untethered soul watered it. So it's like, it's just. I'm just going back to, I love your perspective on your journey as far as like, just, hey, I'm taking each of these moments in, and what it becomes is what it becomes, but I'm not going to be so fixated on determining it.
I like to hold myself like accountable to like for a lot of things. I tend to, like be really hard on myself too. So I was just actually talking about that, how I be letting things just go. I want to teach everything. Not teach everything. I take everything as a lesson. Like I really do. I'm like, okay, I understand that. I understand what I did wrong. I can't put too much on myself for that. Like I gotta forgive myself too, just like I forgive others. So that's how now I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
Forget it, took it, passed it.
Do you feel like some of the lessons that you go through when you talk to your parents, do you feel like they went through the same lessons, or they
I feel like they just now starting to like hold themselves accountable. Like during my whole healing journey or my spiritual journey, it's when I was like basically raising my parents as well. Like you gotta unlearn everything that you've been taught. You gotta unlearn everything. I'm like, now I'm trying to tell you the things that y'all did to me. Like I'm trying to hold y'all accountable for it. It took them a minute, but now they got it. Now they starting to understand. They starting to get there. They starting to become more open-minded as well. And it's the kids that teaching them that. And I noticed that with a lot of parents, a lot of the kids at my school, like just because of our open-mindedness, we don't care talking to our parents like they crazy. Not saying it like that, but we don't shut our mouths no more. Like we're going to tell you exactly the things that hurt us. Whether they say, oh, y'all solved this, that. It hurt us. Y'all gotta take it in. Forgive yourself. We forgave you. Get it on.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And one thing too that I've been finding out is that it's sort of like we are. So when you have a kid, you split the DNA with somebody else, and it's literally like half you and half of somebody else. And so like I got a 4-year-old, you know what I'm saying? And so when I'm looking at him, like he does some things that he never even saw me do. You know what I'm saying? But he does it. And so it's like really showing me how much of me is inside of him without him. It's not that I'm teaching him this, or it's not that he saw me do it. It's literally in him, like in his DNA. And so by you healing yourself and creating lessons within yourself, you are also, so the same way I can reflect on my son and see like, dang, I see that in him. You know, so I see the trauma in him too. You know what I'm saying? I see like the bad habits. I see the good habits. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I can't wait till he get older, and you know what I'm saying, I'm correcting myself now, but I can imagine when he get older, he correcting those bad habits, and he come back like, Dad, you know, like, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, so that way I can, cause I got those same habits, you know what I'm saying, and so it's like a good reflection, you know what I'm saying, so it's like you working on both ends of the spectrum. So now, as your kid heals themselves, you looking at a better way to heal yourself. And then you know what I'm saying? Like that's literally your inner child. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you can really have a conversation and just be growing exponentially in that manner. So I'm pretty sure they appreciate that. So your healing journey, man. So so first off, I want to just say, you know, I want to just ask, you know, like how did you start? And what was like what was a good first step? You know what I'm saying? Like what was a good first step in the healing journey?
That's a good question. How did I start? Soon, I think I started like in school. I started to, I don't want to say make up these disorders. Like I was trying to find something to blame what was going on with me about. So I'm like, I'm bipolar. Like am I just depressed? Like I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm not gonna connect myself to none of these issues because that means I'm gonna really have it.
Yeah.
If you like, I'm not gonna speak that into myself. So I started digging deeper. I started doing like the inner work. I think I went to one little therapy session. It was, I don't want to say it was a mess. I just think I was young, so I had to have my parent there with me, and it just made everything.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really fully say what I had to say, so I'm gonna just start journaling again.
Mm-hmm.
I got in that book, started looking up these. I found out about shadow work prompts, and I'm like, oh, what? Shadow work. I'm like, that sounds a little crazy.
Okay, what's that? Talk about. I don't know what that is.
Shadow work. Shadow work is like undiscovering your shadow self.
Mm-hmm.
Your shadow self is the darkest parts of you.
Oh wow. Okay.
That you just push back. So as soon as you start writing about it, your shadow self starts to come out, and that's how you heal yourself. That's literally inner healing. You come out with the things that you never talked about. And I think I came up with this one thing. It was who hurt you the most. And I'm like, what hurt me the most? Cause I got a thing about victimizing myself. I'm not no victim. I ain't never been no victim. I'm like, okay, let's really talk about it. Like now I'm like, let's really talk about it. Now you talking to yourself. I can't feel shame with nobody else. It's just me. So it's just me and my journal. I'm writing this down. And there was another one like write a letter to the person you hurt the most. It's just the shadow work prompts. I'm like, I'm
to the person you hurt the most?
Who hurt you the most? Yes, I'm like, it's getting deep. Like it's just everything just coming out. I'm starting to like the weight starting to come off my shoulder. I'm like, something that's been really held on to me that I didn't know was really bothering me. And it was affecting the way I was moving. It was affecting the way I was treating everybody else. Like it was just that people pleasing side. I found out where that came from. I'm like, that's crazy. And I think the last prompt that I did was write a letter to your inner child. Like talk to yourself, be the person that you wish you had when you were a child. And that's the one that I'm like, oh, I'm healed after that. I'm like, oh, that one hit. Cause I got 3 younger sisters that I could like I could be older than them, like help them out, but I don't live with them. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, and the way I talk to my inner child, I didn't even write this down. I literally sat in a room by myself, and I'm just talking to nothing. I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, let's talk. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm imagining my younger self is there, and that was like a whole different experience for me.
What age were you when you did that? 16. 16? Man, that is dope. Started at 16. That is dope.
I started young, but it don't stop. Right? You gotta remember that.
It's a lifelong
journey. That journey does not stop, and I thought it stopped, so I stopped. After that, I was like, oh, I'm healed. Let's go. Like, it did not stop. Yeah. Life just kept life.
That's so on the healing journey. What I try to metaphor it as, it's like drinking water. So it's like, you know, you learn in the military. You probably know this anyway, but they teach you, you know, depending on the color of your urine, tells you how hydrated you are. And so it's like you could be hydrated today, right? I could have drunk a whole bunch of water today, But if I wake up tomorrow and don't drink water, I go right back to being dehydrated, you know. And so it's like it's the same thing with your healing journey. It's really a lifestyle of just a constant drinking of that water, you know what I'm saying, that healing water. So that's a dope. Hey, don't nobody have no excuse on. You just gave them 4 prompts, okay? I'm gonna do my shadow journey, okay? I'm gonna do my shadow work.
They got a shadow work book for it now. I was supposed to like write a book about it, but I see everybody start writing books. I'm like, that's smooth, y'all get it. I'm like, I can read y'all books, like y'all can help heal me, because I look like handing out a book and I done stopped my journey. So they got books for it.
You said, what you like?
Writing a book and I stopped my journey.
And you stopped your journey?
Yeah.
But you know what though? One thing, 2 things. I'm gonna say 2 things right quick. One thing, in anything you do, just know that it's nobody that's you.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's 1,000 lash texts out there, whether it's 1,000 shadow work books out there, whatever, just know that nobody is Keke. I don't know. It's nobody gonna do it like her. And then 2, that raw and uncut, that like, you know, damn, I stopped my shadow work, but you know, I did it, but I stopped it. Somebody gonna be at that phase, you know what I'm saying? And it's like way better, and that's what Islam teaches you, is that. So a lot of times people want to be a perfect person. That's what when I grew up Christian, and it was just portrayed that you just supposed to be perfect, you know. And so and that God favored the perfect people. But in Islam, it teaches you that He really likes it when like Allah really likes it when you have a flaw, you maybe do something, fall back, whatever, but you repent for it, or like it's just showing your human side, because He made us to be human. You know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to test out this thing called life, you know. And if you walk on, so they teach you that, you know, He don't really favor like the monks who don't be tempted by nothing, you know, like to say you cut off from everything, well, that defeats yourself of being human. But to be able to go into a bar and not drink, now that's, you know what I'm saying, that's something, you know what I'm saying, or to even drink and then realize you have drunken or whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, and to realize it within yourself and to make amends for it or whatever, like to just to realize it within yourself is a beneficial thing. That's what so I say all that to say that because you did stop in your journey, that actually you would speak to so many more people, because like you said, it's not a just, oh, I'm healed and I'm forever, I'm just forever perfect now. And that's what they teach you. Like I said in Islam, like when you become Muslim, I thought, oh, I become Muslim, I'm gonna pray 5 times a day, you know, I ain't gonna never drink, I ain't gonna never do it, you know, you gonna have some slip ups, like it ain't, you just, because you're not perfect, you know. And so and Allah really appreciates that and stuff. That's why He made us. And so the same thing with you on your journey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you may have stopped, but so many people are going to start that shadow work journey and stop. You know what I'm saying? And then so you can be, because a lot of people who wrote them books, they probably don't even talk about how they stopped, or they, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh yeah, I talk to myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm just 100% now. Ain't no shadow with me. It ain't no shadow with me. But it's like, you can come back and be like, nah, I did the shadow work when I was 16. Hey, when I was 18, it got crazy again. I'm coming to you again. I'm coming to you.
And so, I do it now. Like, I still try to do it. I'm not as consistent. Like, I don't do it every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I pick and choose. Like, when something hit my mind, I'm like, ooh, I may need to write about that. Like, I'm still doing it. I'm trying to do it every day.
So you physically write?
I physically write.
That is dope, man.
And I consider, like, now my poetry, I consider that my shadow work or my journaling now.
You're going to become like this famous person one day. There's going to be these journals and people are like, these is Keke's journals.
Let's hope so.
They're going to be reading. You already got a book already. You're going to go to some journalist and be like, boom, put it on their desk. This is everything. This is the life and times.
Oh my gosh.
How do you share your journals with anybody?
No. I just finished one journal, and I had that one for a long time. I still got journals from my 5th grade. I don't share them with nobody.
So did you just start writing your journals, or like did somebody give you a journal and it would just like change your life? It's crazy to say you don't like reading, you don't like the literature
I don't
part,
like reading.
But you like writing.
I love to write.
Yeah.
I love to write.
Okay.
But the 5th grade journals was like all my lyrics and stuff. Like I was in there talking about some deep shit. I used to listen to Nina Simone too, like as a little girl, and I'm like, oh my gosh, especially that song Blackbird. Like she said, what? Like I'm just in there writing. I'm in 5th grade, sitting here writing about this song. I'm like, it was crazy. I don't share them with nobody.
Did you go to like an art school or anything, or like? So how was was you just like molding your art yourself? Like, was you just like watching YouTube or?
No, I
you say you didn't read books, so I'm just wondering like how was it just all natural, you feel like?
That's why I like look at my mom. Like I really feel like I just got this from my mom, for real. My mom and my dad. I just
do either of your parents write poetry? Nah. Do you don't like do they have you performed for them?
No. Well, my mom came to one of the open mics. She came to one at Red's. That's the first time she ever heard me perform.
What did she say? What's her
she
reaction?
was so happy. Like she was recording everything. She taking pictures of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, mom. But please. I'm like, oh, come on, you over here taking pictures. Like this my little dance recital. But she was so proud. She don't know how it be right. I don't know how it be coming up with some of the stuff, but it's a blessing the way my mind works, the way I think about it.
Yeah, that's it definitely is a blessing, like how you wrote and then the poem that you spit today. I can't wait to edit it up, show the people, you know what I'm saying? Like so you was actually the first guest on the podcast and on the poetry side. So I literally hit you up today, was like, hey, can you perform? You know what I'm saying? And you said yeah with no hesitation. So that was just so dope. It just speaks to a lot of you. Do you see yourself like traveling, doing poetry now?
Yes. I feel like as soon as I get more confident in my work, start to memorize it better, I definitely want to travel. I definitely want to collab with people. Like I got this one poem I want to work on. Yeah, I can say it. It's called like Jack and Jill.
Okay.
And I got it from this song called Jack and Jill. But it's a nice way of feminine and masculine energy working together. I'm like, I can't wait.
Oh, that was actually a dope.
I can't wait.
Oh, Jack and Jill.
Oh. You gotta hear the song though. It's a song called Jack and Jill. I gotta find it in my phone.
And is it talking about masculine? Or you just got it from?
It's Jill Scott on there talking about it's got her background. I just gotta play it.
I'm gonna play. Okay. We gonna play that.
Smooth.
Dang, that is a dope. That is dope though. You should do that with like. So I know you said you're in a poetry society. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I'm a part of the Truth Seekers.
So is the Truth Seekers like a group? Is it a club?
It's the group. We go around like I don't think it's an organization on campus. We just link up together. We go out to different events. We'll host events on campus. And I don't even remember I don't know how I joined the club. I don't know who introduced me. I just know I saw somebody in the room. I went in there. I said, oh, what y'all doing? I was like, what y'all doing? They said, we have just a poetry meeting. I said, I went in there and felt at home. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just what I needed at school. I never would have continued writing poetry if I wouldn't have found that group.
How do you be so active though? So you said you in a poetry group. You got the group where y'all just kind of talk about religion.
So that's my little self-healing group. Doing everything out in the open.
And then you doing lashes and you studying Bible.
Yeah, and I got a little pantry.
And the pantry. Talk about that because I mean we gotta get the donations in there too.
Oh yeah, we need some. We need some donations, but no, I started a little pantry this year. Well, let me not say I started it because I'm still getting everything in the works, but I actually bought the pantry. I had to scrape up some money for that, and then I got to get somebody to paint it and putting it out. It's gonna have everything people need. We're gonna have food, hygiene products, just for the community to come take. Hopefully they take one, or take as much as they need, just not all of it.
What made you start that?
I was looking at this thing called the Free Little Library, where they give out free libraries in the community, and I'm like, nobody can use some books for it. Like, they need something that they can give, and I always want to help. Like, if I see anybody sitting on the street, I always want to help, but I can't even help myself. So I give somebody a water or something. I'm like, now it's time for me to bring the community can to help get for the community.
You ever do you know about like the Black Panthers, like the original? Because they the ones who started like the free lunch, and so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they actually started the free lunch. It's so wild because like when you do join the military, they gonna of course ask you, are you part of the Black Panthers? If you're a part of the Black Panthers, you can't join it, which is wild, right?
What?
Because they saw them as like a radical organization, and but we implement the systems that they put in place, So like so free lunch was one of them because if you control the people's food, so it's hard for people to listen to you when they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? So if you can speak to that need in their life, so that's one of the things. Like shelter is another one, and so healthcare is another one, and so they also did. I don't know. Did you see the Dear Mama documentary with Tupac?
Yeah, I did.
Where they talked about, so the Black Panthers actually did the Bill of Rights for hospitals too. So they created the Bill of Rights. So when you go into hospitals and how patients are treated and everything like that, they created that as well. And so, but I was just saying all that to say with your pantry, you know what I'm saying? You like really got a lot of. It's like a major thing behind that. What you was talking about is about like they did the free lunch to support the people. You got the pantry supporting people. You just never know where it's gonna go. And
I don't know where it's gonna go. I didn't know I was gonna get it up. I was thinking about doing it for a good 2 years, and I'm like, it's time for me to just get this on the words. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. Figure out where I put it at later. Like I figure out all the other stuff later.
Do you these organizations? Did you go into them with your friends, or did you go in them by yourself?
I started by myself. I knew I wanted to start that club freshman year, like. First week on campus.
Oh, so you started the Healing Club. Okay, and can you say that name again?
Mind, Body, and Soul.
Mind, Body, and Soul. MBS, I did see. Yeah, MBS. So Mind, Body, and Soul. So you started that freshman year, and that was right after your question and everything.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to get into it because it was gonna help me stay focused on my healing journey as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna need support. I know they gonna need me, so it's not like I'm teaching anybody. It's we're all there learning from each other.
It'd be dope. I don't mean to say it would be dope, cause I hate saying stuff and then like I'm telling you to do something. But I think it would be dope to do that shadow work, like as a poetry thing, like you know what I'm saying, like where like people can go up on. I know it'd be tough, and it'd be a very vulnerable thing, but just to have people write them letters, and they don't even gotta rhyme, you know what I'm saying, cause poetry don't have to, but. Just having that spoken word of shadow crime where people can come and see. Because I feel like when people do something like that, it's very encouraging for other people to be able to now be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that person got the courage to do it. But it also shows people how to do it, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that'd be like, because you got those two things. And so you got the poetry society, and then you got the mind, body, and soul, which is talking about the healing journey. And it's a way that the two can kind of. I feel like the shadow work is just. I don't know. I'm loving what you say about shadow work. I'm sorry. I'm about to literally go home and do that. And I'm probably gonna write a poem on it or something.
You really should. The prompts for the shadow work is crazy. You'll find some on Google. You just come up with it yourself. Just dig deeper into what you already think. You know.
Do you talk to your younger sisters about this stuff?
My younger sisters here. My dad didn't like me talking to him about it. He thought it was like pushing him away from me. I think he thought it was some sort of evil. Like I was talking to him. I don't know what he thought it was. I'm like, no, it's just shadow work. Shadow work is healing. Like you're healing yourself. Like it's not what you think it sounds like or whatever.
I mean, I can understand his plight though.
Yeah, I can understand what he's saying. I don't know how to. I don't know how to explain.
There's a lot of little Uzi stuff going on right. I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna even say nothing about those. But it's not even just little Uzi. But it's a lot of crazy. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. And as older people, we be like, we don't know what is going on with these kids. You know.
That's another thing with like the open-mindedness in my generation. Yeah. We're a little too open-minded. I'm so serious. My part, like around my age, for like 25 to like 19, they know the boundaries. But I think other than that, everybody like, just listen to them.
Just listen to
them. You can't hear everybody. I'm sorry.
it was so wild. Like I remember, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I had seen I was when I stopped listening to Lil when he had I seen one of his concerts. It was just like oh, y'all going to hell, and I was like, what? I was like, what? After that day, I was like, I'm not listening to I can't do it
because we know exactly what you're doing. I know exactly.
But no, that's dope though. So I do want to talk a little bit about like Winston Salem as a school. Like, what's the culture there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it like being a college student in 2023?
Okay, I know I can only say for my school. My school is really a family. Like you saw the whole little boat incident. We just like I'm so serious. We can't stand Winston. Everybody go to Winston and be like, don't come to Winston. Like we hate it here.
Yeah.
We love that school. We love school. Everything. It's a whole vibe. You step on the campus and feel like you at your grandma's house.
Okay.
That's the vibe it is.
What's the what's some places that you like is like staples? Like it's like that you might create like a bingo chart that be like, oh, you didn't go to Winston, like
yeah,
like
we got one of them too.
What's up?
One of the pits. The pit is a vibe. The pit is like this. It's outside and it's literally is a pit. Like it's under. You got to go down the steps and everything. And it's a basketball court. You got the skaters down there. We got the smokers out there. We got everything. Every vibe you looking for is out there. Everybody just mingle together. Nobody set up.
Oh, okay.
Set up. And it's so nice. Nobody judging you. Everything. Everything just go on down there.
That's a double little area. And so I drove through Winston one time. It got y'all live real close to this is waterfall called the Hanging
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in Asheville, isn't it?
It's like 20 minutes away from Winston. But y'all got like what I was getting at is y'all got like a lot of good scenery there. So when I did drive through, it was like some good. I would have never thought. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know what Winston Salem was until I moved down here. And then when I didn't know what it was until I drove to that waterfall, and I'm like, dang, it's actually like a little cool little town.
Winston is known as like the home of the arts. Like we see a bunch of museums out there. They just opened up this spot now. It's like for seeing. It's called the Quarry, and it is a quarry. Like it's a bridge that you go onto. You step out and look down, and the only thing you see is water and a bunch of rocks. And they got this nice little playground. And it's also a lake right across the street. Like it's a lot of stuff out there. Winston is great scenery, great food.
Okay.
And all you see is art.
Yeah.
Art on the buildings everywhere.
I didn't even know it was it's an art hub. I gotta check it out. What's some things that you are looking forward to implementing this school year? I know we talked about like your mindset going into the school year. What's some things that you're looking to implement, like with your mind, body, and soul? What's some programs or something that you looking to do? Or what's some things you think about the food pantry?
The way I gotta take things slow this year. Like I was real fast paced last year, trying to do everything, put everything in one tight schedule. But the way my class is looking, I gotta slow it down. Like I may need help for the club, so I'm looking for a vice president. Things like that. Looking for somebody to run the club after I graduate because I wanted to still be on campus. So now I'm trying to find somebody to run things while I can't do it. So I can take time for myself. Okay.
And then something I meant to ask you earlier was what's some of your heroes like growing up? I know you talked about Nina Simone, listening to her. What's some of your heroes that you had growing up?
Nina Simone. I love Nina Simone. Like I never like looked up to anybody. I didn't look up to anybody. I'm like, I just don't want to be y'all. Like that's really it. Like instead of them asking like, oh, who's the person that you look up to? I'm like, no, this is the person I don't want to be like. And then I would be that specific person. Like I want to be the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And Nina Simone, whenever I started hearing her music, I be saying I'm Nina Simone reincarnated. That is not true, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Everything, like the music, her tone, everything that she says, the things that she dealt with, even her revolutionary period. I'm like, oh, she is dope. I don't care if nobody said to her. She had her ups and downs.
What's the song that you would put out there that like if somebody never heard Nina Simone, who would be the song that you?
Tell Me More and More. A lot of people don't know about that. Blues for Mama.
Okay. You giving us some good homework. Okay.
Those are two great songs. Make you just want to sit there and maybe smoke whatever you smoke. Whatever you drink, make you want to sit there and think.
Yeah, and just think and meditate, Leo. Okay. And then I wanted to ask, what do you feel like you have a responsibility to like the community, like as far as all the knowledge and lessons that you're going through and learning? Do you feel like you have a responsibility to the community to educate?
I feel like I do. Like I don't want to say I do, but I feel like my people do. Like that we don't. A lot of us, we get our knowledge and we keep it to ourselves. We don't like to teach them. Like that's why we all look as slow. So the thing with us, we'll sit there and just watch. Like we'll watch and judge instead of helping. Like it's not going to do anything for the next generation. It's not going to do anything for us and anything for our kids. None of that. You gonna sit there and hold all your knowledge in. It's not doing nothing for you either. So I feel like help. Each one teach one. That's how it should be, and nobody doing that. So it's gonna start somewhere.
That's pretty dope too, because it kind of goes into your poem, no, not my beef. You know, it's like, and that's crazy when you really think about, like, black people really is just hands off everything. It ain't even just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, not my beef. I ain't about to switch up. I ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and that's cool in some situations, but you gotta know.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is probably like our own trauma. And about like going back to just even how I talked about like with my kid, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot of stuff in him that's from me. So I can imagine I got a lot of stuff from me that's from my parent and from my grandparent and all the slave, you know what I'm saying? Like just a lot of the things of like, I don't want to get involved there because I can get lynched, I can, you know, anything can happen. And so I see we real standoffish with each other, and I think doing some of that self-work.
I used to get so much trouble taking up for other people. I used to get my ass kicked. Like especially when I was younger, I would see somebody getting bullied. I'm like, this don't go. It didn't have nothing to do with me at all. But I would always come in defend and I would always get hurt. I think that's another part. We always trying to take up for somebody if somebody don't want to take up for us.
Yeah. I'm
like, wait, you gotta know when to put your foot, like when to say something, when to put your foot down, just like a vote instead. But you take up for that man.
Yeah.
They do exactly the same.
Yeah. And that's part. I don't even know what that's gonna spark for some kids.
In Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, y'all done did that in Alabama. They finna go crazy. They finna go crazy up here. Oh my gosh.
It's about to be, you know, they done already framed. They said the chair going in the museum.
I be looking in the comments. Like I've been watching them. I keep watching them. I'm looking in the comments. Like, man, what they saying? Because I want to know what's about to happen.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. So, do you believe that we still like in like modern day slavery, or like or civil rights? Do you feel like the civil rights is like fully implemented? Or do you think we still got somewhere to go? Or
I feel like we still got somewhere to go. It starts with, like I said, holding ourselves accountable in some situations. I would hate to say that we victimize ourselves a lot, but that is one of the things that do keep us back. We, like, of course, whatever we went through, that is definitely something that has instilled in us, even with our ancestors in our DNA. Like, however they feel in their past traumas, it's in us. But a lot of things coming from healing. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that we got to work on as well, and we got to come together. We're not together at all.
Yeah.
I feel like in some instances we do come together, but it's always got to be a negative. Like with the killings, with the police shootings and stuff. That's when we decide to, oh yeah, let's all think alike. And I feel like we should do that before anything dramatic happens.
And when you was talking, I was thinking about what we were saying earlier about the healing journey, about like how it's a constant thing. And so it's like it's a constant thing. As far like even the Civil Rights Act, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, okay, yeah, it's like when you become healed, like when you did that shadow work. I'm equating that to kind of like the Civil Rights Act, where like some people will be like, oh yeah, I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? So whereas we recognize it now. It's constant. You gotta constantly push people to not be racist or to give equality or to, you know what I'm saying, or to heal ourselves from our traumas and the slavery. So it's like, it's a constant thing. I'm realizing.
And it's gonna be a long journey, because slavery, racism, all that's been around for a while. Like a long time before any of us was born. Any of us that's on this earth now was born. It's been around longer than we know. So it's been instilled in a lot of our brains, and even if we don't think about it or not, we can be prejudiced, don't even know it. So those are things that we have to unlearn. Those are you gotta rewire your brain in some situations, and I feel like as soon as we as in humans, like understand that you gotta rewire certain things that's taught in you, has been instilled by the government, everything on your phone, you gotta unlearn it. And then it will come together, stop listening to what they saying on there and think for yourself at some point.
That was one thing I loved about the military, was that it really do put you in the room of all types of people. And I was thinking about that today actually, about like, I've never been homeless, but I can imagine. So in the military, when you with people overseas, you don't really care too much about their color. Like, you just care whether they got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like really like, you know, you can talk all this stuff about like, you know, people that's different races and stuff, but really when it comes down to it, when your life is threatened or whatever, it's like, we on the same team. I don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't, so it's like, but in the military, you can go into a military room and inside of like a barracks or something, and it's a black boy in there singing some country ass song, or it's a white dude in there rapping some hood ass song, or it's like a Hispanic guy that's, you know, playing some type of Chinese game or whatever. You know, it's just so. But yeah, in the military, they it's so many crossbreeding of cultures, and a lot of people are experiencing culture for the first time. Like, I really wasn't around white people for real until I went to the military, because it's just like, Cleveland is just like how you describe Charlotte, you know, just the opposite. To where the east side is black, and then the west side is white, Hispanic, and you got like white people like kind of on the outskirts. But now they gentrifying it, so now it's like a lot different. But going into the military, I was like, man, you know, I had never been surrounded by so many white people. And it was like, it was crazy. It was white people from Texas. It was Hispanics from California. And so these are like the white people, you know what I'm saying? Like Texas, I was like, damn, y'all motherfuckers, like, they was kind of racist a little bit. And then,
No racism.
No racism.
Well, not that I know of.
Yeah, but it was also me getting culture shock. So I don't even know if they, looking back, I don't even know 100% if they were racist, but they did have black jokes and stuff, and I was just like, you know, like, I mean, look at, like, I don't know how because so one white guy, he had broke it down, because oh my god, man, we got into so many fights, and so because it was only like 6 black people out of like 56, you know what I'm saying? 56 people in my platoon, and it was 6 black, it was 6 of us, and so we was the minority for sure, and it was like just the jokes and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We all come from these hood ass places, you know what I'm saying? And like, we ain't never been around people cracking jokes on us and that way. So, but I remember talking to one white guy, because he had said a joke. He had said, now this is racist. Some people, I was like, all right, I don't know. But I understand too a little bit now that I'm older, like, that they just didn't know. But one white guy, he was like, why is Stevie Wonder always smiling? You know, I was like, I don't know. Like, why? He was like, oh, because he black. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So me and him, I got into it. And
my
then
footage is over. I'm like,
oh, we ended up, yeah, it was bad. So, but my platoon sergeant had sat us down, and we was talking about it, and the guy, well, he made us talk it out in our room, whatever. And so the guy, he was just like, so he was like he was, I could tell like he was fearful. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't even like he wasn't even like a guy that was like trying to push my buttons or nothing like that. Like he really was scary. And so just talking to him about it, he was like trying to explain to his head, and he was just like, you know, like, well, I went to, he's like, I'm from, I think he said he's from a town in Colorado or something, and he was just like, you know, it's no black people in my town, so I didn't know, you know, that this was offensive. And then he got even worse because this way he described how, like, he was like, I wasn't understanding what he was saying, and so he was, because I wasn't caring, I guess, what he was saying. But so he tried to describe with a metaphor. He was like, well, my high school, just imagine like a bag of popcorn, and like 1 or 2 kernels get burnt. You know what I'm saying? Man, when I say, I was like so mad. My roommate, everybody they was like, as soon as he said that, like everybody else in the room knew. But I wonder what that guy doing. I wish I had his name, because I really wanted to become educated. But but that was his way of like explaining that he didn't grow up with black people. And so, but the military though, overall though, it's definitely a racist environment. But I say that to say, when you get into stressful situations, the race, like the bond that you build, like just learning other cultures. Like I would have never learned some of the songs I know, or how to play certain games, or how, you know, I play ultimate frisbee now. You know what I'm saying? Like not now on a regular basis, but I didn't even know what the hell ultimate frisbee was. Like for real, we never played nothing with no frisbee. Like we was like, so just playing that, I was like, oh, okay, like this is yeah, like I don't know if you ever see this guy. I don't know if you ever seen this movie. It's a movie called South Central. You ever seen it?
South Central? What? Just South Central?
It's called South Central. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's a movie. It's back in the day, man. It's like in the 90s. But this one kid, he had got shot. He was in the hospital, and he's a black kid. He was still in radios. Got shot in the back, and he was in there. He was doing recovery. He was playing ping pong. And so, but he didn't want to play it at first. He was like, the nurse was trying to get him to play the shoot. He was like, I ain't about to play that hunky ball. You know what I'm saying? He was like hunky ball. And so then he in there so long, he started to change his mind. He started to play it and started to have fun with it. And then he became good, and he was like trying to slam it and stuff. And then she was like, oh, you getting pretty good at hunky ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's sometimes us as black people, especially things that's we consider to be white culture. We be like, we don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? We be like, yeah, it's like white people shit. Yeah, it's like.
That's what I like to go fishing. Mm-hmm. And I be like, I always go with myself and some of my friends like to go fishing. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's some white people shit. I'm like, yo, let's go hiking. I'm like, let's go to Asheville or something. I'm like, you black. I'm like, let's go. I'll play some Tyler the Creator. I may play some crazy music. Cause I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to no ratchet music 24/7. I like to expand everything. All you hear is this some white people shit. Like, what is y'all going on? Y'all just don't know. You gotta open your mind.
Yeah, you missing out on so much.
And then you go out to these places. Like when I went to Jamaica, I saw so many white people, and I didn't expect to see it. And they were all from Jamaica. Like they all landed there. I'm not gonna say from there. They landed there. Yeah. And they. Oh no! They.
Oh wow!
They got an accent, everything.
Oh wow! That's wild. I've never even imagined that.
And the way that I don't know if this is like something. This is crazy to you, but this was crazy to me. But in Jamaica, they don't too much care about it. It's the Indians. I went in there. I went to this man's store, and it was like, oh, that's the Indian store. You can't go. Like they were so crazy to them. I'm like. That's crazy. Like
they're inferior to Indians, or
she was like, they took all our jobs. Like that's what they kept saying. It was like, they took all our jobs. Like we don't. I'm like,
dang.
That's why you be saying like that. Like, I did not expect that. I didn't expect none of that. I didn't know none of that was going down there. And it was like they was like, yeah, a lot of the Indian people get treated bad down there, and it was crazy to hear.
And it's crazy that it's like the same stuff in different cities.
I just didn't expect. I've been so used to like it being just white people, black people, or white people, Hispanic people. Like, I didn't expect.
You didn't think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about no other races being with each other. I'm like, so this is a worldwide thing. It's literally, you can tell it's instilled in us to just hate them.
Yeah.
Instead of like
and
combined.
And that's dope though that you got the sense to see that, because then it make it not personal. I feel like it make it like not personal. Like, it ain't that you really hate me. This is just a mindset that a lot of people in the world have.
And it's been passed on by parents. That's why you say you're not born racist. Nobody's born racist. Nobody's born hating. That is just taught to you.
Okay, that's pretty good then. Do you have anything else you want to add to the? You want to say?
I forgot what it was. It was a question for you, but I forgot. We kept going.
I escaped the question.
We kept going into different subjects.
Who was it? You remember when it was? We were talking about college. We were talking about military.
I think I was gonna ask about your journey, like your journey with Islam. I wonder like how that became.
Oh, okay, man. That's a that's a crazy journey. So it's wild because we talk about seeds. You know what I'm saying? So my journey with Islam started 13 years ago, and so when I went to basic training, I was in the army. The army has like planted a lot of seeds, and you know what I'm saying. And so, but I was at basic training. At basic training, you'll find out. Well, the Air Force, y'all probably chilling all the time, but in the Army, on Sundays, if you go to service, you don't have to. So if you don't go to service, you got to clean all day. You like clean the barracks all day. If you go to service, you get these different incentives. And so I grew up Christian, so I went to church, and Christian church wasn't like. They just let you hang out, let you go to sleep. That was the big incentive at Christian church, like you get to go to sleep. And so I was like, this is cool, but I mean, I don't know. So I was hearing about these other places, and so I heard a Catholic church. I heard that they do pizza, and so I was like, and then mind you, basically you can't eat nothing. Like you ain't eating no type of nothing. You drinking water. Right. So I was like, oh, I'm there. So me and my six niggas, my six friends, my six black friends, right? So we was like, we pulled up to the Catholic church. We rode all the way together. So we pulled up to the Catholic church, and then I remember they was giving communion, and so we went up to take communion, and then the priest was like. I was like, what? I'm saved. I've been baptized. And they was like, they didn't allow it. And so I thought that it was a racist thing. I thought that they was like how could you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what distinguishes me differently than anybody else? So we took it as racism. So we was like, all right, whatever. We ain't going back to the Catholic church. So and then I heard about the Muslim church. I heard about the mosque, and I heard that they was giving out donuts and coffee. And so I was like, oh, shit. Donuts and coffee, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause why are you drinking nothing but water? So I didn't even drink coffee back then, but coffee just sounded good, better than water. So I pulled up to the mosque, and then I really liked what I was hearing. Like, I really liked, cause there was a lot of things in Christianity that just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just something that just wasn't adding. I graduated with a math degree. I'm real big on math, you know what I'm saying? Like, things got to add up, okay? So, it was just a lot of things in Christianity that just wasn't adding up. And so, and they was just, what they was saying was just so, like, just speaking to me. Like, I really like what they were saying about, like, the prophets and about, like, how they saw Jesus as a prophet, not as, like, a savior. And so, that was the main thing that really stuck me throughout the whole thing. Like, because I just always believed that, like, it's the sin of don't worship any other God, and I just never understood Christianity because, like, is worshiping Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And then I learned later on that certain people believe that Jesus is God, and so I learned that piece of it. But it just never resonated with me, you know what I'm saying? Like I just never agreed with that.
That was my whole mindset, kind of way I moved with religion as well.
Yeah, and so and even talking to some of my Islam brothers now, like about, you know, not getting too deep into religion, but like I just was talking to them about like, why would you worship? So if you do believe Jesus is God, why not worship the higher form of God? You know, why worship the human version of him? If you believe it's all the same, you know, why worship? So after base, so I started going, and then everything was resonating. The donuts and coffee was hitting, okay? And so, but they was talking to it good. And so then after that, I didn't do nothing with it. I stopped believing myself to be Christian. I just was like, so I started going my journey like a higher being, you know? Because I just was like, so if I grew up Christian my whole life, and then these people come and they resonate with me even more, it just started to question religion. Like, I just believe like nobody got it right. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's all just kind of made up. And I just started to think about like a higher being,
everybody
and just
got
little pieces, you know? And so, because I thought of the game like telephone, you know, because I really started to think about like, you know, they didn't write things down back in the day, so how could everything be accurate? And so, so I really started to think of it that way. And then I deployed 2019, 2020 to Kuwait, which is a Muslim country. And so then I had also, that year I had read the autobiography of Malcolm X. How it's just that's a good book, man. That's like total. It did change your mind on black revolutionary stuff too. And so, because they talk a lot about, so in there he talk about the March on Washington and how it was rigged, you know what I'm saying, and how like it wasn't what we thought it was. The government kind of like manipulated that. And so I really appreciated that. But anyway, he talked about his Muslim journey in there. And so then I started to just think more on it. And so then I had started studying a little bit more about the religion, and I had did Ramadan. And Ramadan is during the month of April. And so I wanted to do it because it was like, I always want to test myself. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to figure out like, how can I become the higher version? Like, what is this? How can I surpass this? You know what I'm saying? This worldly version. And so I did Ramadan, and mind you, I'm in the desert, I'm in the military, so we running. So I remember so you can't drink water or eat food throughout the whole time.
You running in the desert?
Man, I tell you. So the sun, so from sun up to sundown, you can't eat or drink. And I remember talking to my, so I got a friend that we joined the army together. He Muslim as well. He told me like, oh no, he's like, in extreme conditions like that, because it was 120, 130 degrees. He's like, extreme conditions like that, you can drink water. But I'm always a person that I'm gonna take them. I'm not gonna half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, if Ramadan is this, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because
sit there and pray when you're thirsty.
and so I did Ramadan, and one of the things I really appreciated about Ramadan was when it was time to eat, when that sun go down, like you pay attention. So people, we don't pay. So like with yoga, you pay attention to your breath. You know what I'm saying? Like once you do yoga, you start to realize how you breathe. Okay, am I breathing fast or slow? You know what I'm saying? Am I paying attention to my breath? You start to like be conscious of it. So when I did Ramadan, I was started to be conscious of my life. Like I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Or the sunset, the sunrise. I started to pay attention to the sunset, the sunrise, the moon. How does the moon shape? How am I feeling at noon? You know what I'm saying? How am I feeling at this time? So I just, cause you start to think about it more. And so when it was time to, when it was time for sundown, when you got a chance to eat, I thought about it like, it hit me like, okay, am I gonna rush through this prayer? Because you gotta pray. So am I gonna rush through this prayer because I'm so hungry and ready to eat? Or am I gonna take my time and not waste what I just did throughout the day? And so I love that discipline of like just, you know, being whole with God and just and putting that first, you know what I'm saying, over my own self of eating. And so I really appreciated that. And then so when I came home, I I still wasn't fully committed. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, but it was so many signs and stuff that just God was just it was like so crazy. One of the toughest times of my deployment, I remember coming out, and it was during Ramadan. I was coming out to BFAT, and I was just like, I don't know why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing in my life? You know what I'm saying? And I went outside, and it was literally like I took a picture of it. It was a line of clouds. Like, one side of the sky was clouds, and one side was clear sky. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like, it was just to me a sign of like the silver lining. It was like find the silver lining and what you here for. And so what I found was that I was here to start my photography. So that's where I started photography. That's where I started, my whole journey of like becoming a photographer. Everything you see today, I had planned it overseas. And so when I was on deployment, a lot of stuff happened. And so when I came back, I was smoking and drinking, and I was really going down a dark. It was like depression was like just going. And so when I say I went to the mountain, I actually I was going to like kill myself. For real. I was about to go jump off the cliff, everything. So I had said that I wanted to see one more sunset, and it's crazy that we just we talk about the Ramadan. So I didn't appreciate sunsets for real before deployment. You know what I'm saying? But once I went on a deployment, I did the Ramadan. I really love sunsets. Like, sunsets is my favorite thing the other day. And it's so wild because so many people just miss them. You know what I'm saying? Or sunrises. It's like, yeah, like, because most of the time you in the house, you working, like, you don't even really be able to see. It's like such a...
I said, oh, look at that.
It's such like a miracle. And so I went to the mountain to kill myself. I was going to jog, like, I just want to see one more sunset. And so as the sun was literally like going, it was setting. It was like a ridge, like you see the mountain. But it's funny though, because it'd be like, so I went up to Crowder's Mountain, and I wanted it to set on the side of Charlotte, and it didn't. It set on the other side. I was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can't even set on the right side. And so it set on this side, and luckily it did because it was a mountain that was in my view. And it was, as it was setting, it was like you could see the light on the ridge. It was done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was about to go. So I was like, all right, it's time to go. So and then a plane came out of nowhere and just started doing like somersaults for like 10 minutes.
What the hell?
Man, I swear on everything. Like, it was doing somersaults for like 10 minutes. I recorded everything. It did somersaults for like 10 minutes. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying?
It was people on the plane, or it was just like a little plane?
It was like a little, it was like a little, it was like a personal plane. She said, I couldn't know, one of them big old, I did not sign up for this. I did
Give
not.
me my money back.
Spirit Airlines. That was it. Spirit Airlines.
Spirit up here playing with me.
That is so funny. That's funny. No, it was like a personal play. And so they was doing somersaults, and I was just like, that must be God. And so, but I was thinking with such a negative mindset, and people don't understand when you suicidal. It was like, my suicidal mind was, kill myself, don't kill myself. Like, that was only, like, when we talk about the things they carry, those were the only two decisions I could carry. You know what I'm saying? It was like, either do this or don't do this. Either do this, and it was like, everything else was very obsolete. And so, it really shaped my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had went, before then, I had went 3 days without eating. Because I had tried to kill myself 3 days before then. But I didn't do it because I couldn't do it because I tried to like hang myself by the door, and it was like just not. And I was like, this shit looked like it worked in movies, but I couldn't get it. And so,
Let me stop.
I was like, dang, I can't even kill myself, right? So now I'm just gonna. But I talked to my sister because I remember.
Now I can't kill myself.
Cause it was like, so in total from deployment, it was like over like a dozen people that ended up killing themselves. Ooh. And so I just remember always seeing it on Facebook, and people would be like, people were like, no, you should have just reached out. Like, why you didn't just reach out or whatever. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just try to reach out to one person. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody on my Facebook post saying that. And so I reached out to my sister. She talked me down on it. But I still was like very much in the depressed mind. So I was like, I'm just not to eat or drink nothing. You know, I eventually dropped dead. And so then 3 days had passed. And that's when I went to the mountain. I was like, you know what, whatever. And so, but so I say that to say, like, it was a miracle for real for me to even climb that mountain. I feel like, you know, like after not eating or drinking nothing for 3 days, and then to see that, like to see, I mean, it came right as the sun was setting in the plane, and so I knew that it was like a crazy miracle from God. But I say that to say also, those 3 days was literally run by my suicidal thoughts. Like, it was literally those mindsets. So when I saw that plane, it instantly flipped, and I saw the power of a flip. Like, if my life could be like this, thinking negatively, right? If my mind can be like this and it can shape me to the point where I can climb a mountain without drinking or eating for 3 days, and I can, you know, be willing to take my life or whatever. Like, what if I flipped it and was positive? You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, I realized, like, your mind shape your life. Like, what you thinking about, what you think about, what the ideas you create in your head, it really shapes you. Like, if you really say, I'm gonna have a good day today, you are going to have a good day. And it's really like, if you really believe it. Cause I saw, like, if I really believed that it was time for me to go, it was time for me. You know what I'm saying? It was like that was the deciding factor. So.
You wanna know what's crazy though? That's the exact same way I started my journey.
Mm.
I was getting ready to kill myself as well. And I was getting ready to go into work. It was I got a poem about this exact moment because I've died before. I've been laced with marijuana, and I've been recovered twice. And after that whole situation, like, I think it was fucking with my head. And I was like 17. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, something got to change. I'm like, I don't know. A bunch of pills on the floor, and I said, well, I'm just like, should I just take it? I took it, nothing happened. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I done seen people take less pills than that, and it just didn't work for me. And I'm like, okay, now it's like something else I gotta do because I know I couldn't do it no other way. I was just too powerful for that. Had to go into work. I'm like, I went in with that same mindset. I'm like, maybe if I shift my perspective on things, maybe things will change. So I'm like, well, I used to go to work so mad. I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm ready to go. I even was gone for a whole week of work. I'm gonna go into work this day. I'm like, I'm gonna try this thing because I saw it on the internet. It was like, let's change your mind. Like, that's what it said. Let's change your mind. I'm like, okay, let's start with the manifesting part. This when I was meditating, and I was like, I'm gonna have a good day today. Like, nothing's gonna bother me. I gave myself a whole run through, a whole pep talk. I'm like, I am going to have a good day. Not you. You might have a good day today. Like, this one might be good. Let's go ahead and make it a good day. I went there. I was so happy. Like, I didn't know what I was happy about. I literally just tried to kill myself the day before that. And I got scars all over my arms. It's just like everything was bad. Somebody had noticed it, and she had asked me. She was like, usually people ask about my scars. I'd be like, did you ask? You know exactly what it is. I asked about it. She asked, and I like told her, I was like, it's old. I was like, that shit don't got nothing to do with me no more. Whole perspective changed on everything, changed on life. That's when I started digging into, that's when I really started exploring other religions for real. I'm like, how did me saying that just changed my mind? And that's how I got where I am now for real. After that whole situation. To hear your story, for you to say it like that, like, damn, that is deep. Cause I would have never thought, like, I never dug into that with me. Like, that pushed past my brain. I forgot that whole memory ever even happened.
That's some shadow work.
Yeah, that's some shadow work.
Yeah, that's some shadow work right there.
I forgot that even happened. You told me that story, I'm like, damn, you just like struck a memory. Like, that sounds too familiar. That's crazy.
And what had got me out of it for real was my mom had came down and she had told me just to start. She said just do one thing. And I cut them. So it's crazy. My grass was looking all crazy. My house is looking crazy. my car was, and that's one thing that I learned.
Mindset,
I just learned that during that time I was like, cause somebody had said like you could tell somebody's mindset based off of their car, their house, like this, their room, and so but I cut the grass, and it was like that just sparked like a domino effect of like, just taking back my power. But that's so dope though that you experienced that and that you came through it and that but it inspired you to create that club and.
That was a nice journey. Like that whole, I just went through that whole journey with you. That was a nice journey. I would have never expected that to come out your mouth. That is crazy.
That is crazy. I appreciate that for real, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's what most like my mom, she'd be like, like I just nobody ever knew. I was always the life of the party. I was like
smiling everywhere you go.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I just try to carry with me is that you just, so people, and some people be like, because I always show people love, you know what I'm saying? Or I always like say like, I love you or I laugh, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I just did a wedding the other day and the bridal party was like, are all of our jokes funny or, you know what I'm saying? Like you just laughing for a tip or like, and I be just like, I'm real carefree, you know what I'm saying? But also I want people to know like if it's we can hate for no reason, right? If I say I hate you and I don't know you, nobody will question nothing. But if I say I love you and I don't know you, then it's like, why you just love everybody or like what? You know what I'm saying? But it's like you really choose what you want to see in somebody. I can really hear your joke and I can choose, do I want to hear how it's funny or do I want to hear how you sound corny? You know what I'm saying? Or like whatever, and so I just really see that with people. I try to carry that like, bro, like if you look for, everybody's lovable in some way, you know what I'm saying? If you look for, well, what is this person? Like I really love, like I love you, I love your journey, you know what I'm saying? How you talk about your mindset, and that's just like really powerful to me, you know what I'm saying? Like I wish that I would have had that while I was in college, because it's so much pressures that this world puts on you. You supposed to have this figured out. You supposed to do this. I wish I would have had that mindset so that way, because it wasn't until my last year of college that I started to go to random classes. Like I just was like, because I like learning. You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like that. Like, who are you?
Right. So it's like those things, man. It's like once you see life as like your playground, and you can go anywhere, you can learn from anything, you know what I'm saying? It takes you out this box. And I feel like so many people like live in this box, and a lot of suicidal thoughts come from that, because it's like, if I'm a colorful person, I'm living in this black and white world, and people telling me I should be black and white, and I'm like trying to be, and it's like, it's like you trying to hide your color, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't black and white, you know what I'm saying? I'm this colorful person. So, I just wanted to say that though. I really do love your mind as far as, and I can only imagine where you're gonna be at, like later on, like as you develop and you just go on your journey. I'm glad I met you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that I went to that poet. I ain't been to Red in I don't know how long, and then you stepped up there. He was like, "Yeah, my name is Keke," and and then you spit your palm. Like it really was like a breath of fresh air, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that I got a chance to cross paths with you.
Thank you so much. This is a great experience.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I needed this song. I've been in my head this whole week, this whole month. This is exactly what I needed.
Oh, that's dope, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you on the 30. Okay, that's the first episode of With the Flow.
WTF.
Right, WTF.